Our brain uses only 20 watts. But today a GPU is like taking 10 times one single card.
We are a very decentralized organization, so we kept it that way and we are continuing to keep it that way. So
You use your own products to get some of your business done, then you see the value in it, and then we roll it out to the customer.
there are going to be a lot of new types of job. Say 20 years back there was no social media marketing job.
So the messaging platform, especially, there is a lot of interest. It has been
Correct.
a long time coming.
It would be the hardware where we need some patient capital, we need people to work on it for 7-8 years.
As part of this, as Shailesh said, we have been working together for last 25 years, so it's just a continuity.
All these require investment. AI today seems to be very capex heavy.
As a private company or build which will help us to navigate if times get extremely difficult.
So we have to have a, say, college-like atmosphere where people here are like, say, continuously learning.
B2C is like that 100-ball match, right? Not even T20.
Hello and welcome to Digital Playbook with Sindhu. I'm your host Sindhu Hariharan, and in this show, we try to decode the rapid changes in the digital economy. We'll talk to industry leaders and also try to understand how they navigate this dynamic world of technology. So today, being the very first episode, we have a very special company with us. We have the leaders from a company that put India on the business software map. Starting off as a company called AdventNet in the 90s, the company then went on to build a host of business application products, and today is not just $1 billion in revenue, but also multi-billion dollar in valuation. But all of this they've done remaining private and closely held. Joining us today is Shailesh Davey, the CEO of the parent organization Zoho Corporation, and Mani Vembu, the CEO of the SaaS platform Zoho.com. Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Thank you, Bindu, for having us here.
So, firstly, I'd just like to understand, both of you took on these roles quite recently, I think been 8 or 9 months when Sridhar stepped down. So, maybe you could start off by telling me as to, what is it that you do differently in the current role from your previous?
Yeah, the broad answer is most of us have been working together for 25 plus years.
Right.
So it has actually been a bit of business as usual, as well as trying to look at what other things we could do in this new role. But I would say we know each other's, it's more like friends working together. We know each other's strength and weakness because of working together for long. So it does give us that runway to learn new things in this new role. That's the way I would look at it.
Good. So, Mani, were you more a product builder earlier, and now you have to take on a lot of these CEO roles, which involves a lot of management work also, right? So, how has that been for you, transition?
Yeah, so say I have been a product manager at heart, but having interest in, say, some of the business areas, because previously I played the COO role, so where I used to head the sales and distribution, like the channel network, and other parts of the business. So now, as part of this, as Shailesh said, we have been working together for last 25 years, so it's just a continuity.
Right.
So, and since we are a very decentralized organization, so we kept it that way and we are continuing to keep it that way. So that makes most of this transition actually easier.
So, coming to you, Mani, first. So, I want to understand. So, this show is Digital Playbooks. So, I'm keen to understand the playbook of SaaS that was there a few years ago, even as earliest as 2 years ago, maybe. Today, it's completely different. I mean, be it AI or be it various reasons, the model is changing. So, is the playbook still same, or have you had to kind of change the way you think as an organization to cater to the customers today? How has things changed in SaaS?
Say if you look at the software, like say it used to be on-premise and then cloud is a distribution model. That means, right? So it changed the way software has been distributed. So, and AI is like, say, I would say like, say, adding value to, like, say, what we have been doing. So in terms of, say, for example, our developers could like, say, use AI to generate some of the code. So, right, so it's just increasing the productivity of the developers and other teams. So we are looking at AI as like, say, how do we help businesses adopt AI in terms of increasing their productivity and also the operational efficiency. So that's how we are looking at, like, say, in terms of value addition. So say in SaaS the same way. So we have been like, say, building on-prem products. So it's the same distribution that has changed, and we offered functionality over the cloud. And now with AI, we are adding more AI functionality to offer better value to our customers. That's how I see it.
So, in terms of, see, be it selling, the model of actually selling from India to the world, or actually using the talent here to build softwares for your global customers, you feel nothing has changed? It's all remains the same as a model?
See, in cloud, it has really changed because, like, say, self-service have accelerated. So that means, like, say, the whole model of inbound has accelerated in cloud, and with AI, it is further continuing. And so, with if you use the AI agents effectively, so some of the workloads of, right, say, the SDRs or the support agents could be offloaded to AI, and that's why we see it as a productivity booster.
Right, got it. So, Shailesh, talking about AI, for the larger group, what is the key priorities now when it comes to AI? How are you preparing for the way the world is changing?
See, one of the underlying things in what we do is we try to figure out what is valuable for the customer. So, actually, if you take any technology, like we have seen it over the last 25 years, they kind of go through this curve, right? So, they expectation, then there's a disappointment, and then it grows up, then there's a plateau of productivity, right? So, every technology goes through this kind of a cycle, and we have seen that before, and we believe AI will also go through this kind of a cycle. But in all this, the most important thing is to keep customer in the mind and see what is valuable for the customer. So that is our foremost point. Then second is, whatever we approach, we kind of do it with an open mind. It is true that we might be doing something in a particular way, and now suddenly there is a new information that comes in. So instead of kind of negating it, we assimilate it and see what change we need to do. So in that sense, I would put AI is like the new vector that has come in, and now we look at it with the open pair of eyes, like without much, without any past forebodings and all that. So if you look at it, there are multiple ways where it can be useful to the customer as well as useful for us. But we are also sure that there is a lot more hype, there is a lot more funding around it. So in all this, we need to kind of separate the wheat and the chaff, as they say, and then look at what is valuable to the customer, put it in our products, put it in our services, and make it easy for them to adopt. And one way we do it is, first we use it ourselves. So it's like doing an experiment on yourself. That is not really true for AI. So we call this dog fooding, where you use your own products to get some of your business done, then you see the value in it, and then we roll it out to the customer, right? So similarly, we are using AI ourselves, be it in code development, be it in support, be it in marketing content generation, be it in legal redlining, right? In a lot of these areas, we are applying AI internally. We are seeing what is the value, at what cost, whether, like, the one big debate that is happening in the industry is, do we need large language models for everything, or could we use I would say a concoction of small language models which is orchestrated by a larger language model. So all these kind of debates keep happening in the industry. So we look at all that, use it internally, see what kind of value we are getting. We also make it available in the product. We call it AI boost. So each of our products, or including the platform, so we have this AI coming in, and this is available for customers in multiple models, right? So they can use their own language model if they want, or they can use some open source model out there, or they can use what we have hosted. So all these options we are giving. I still believe it is early days, and having an open mind, looking at it more closely, seeing what is valuable to the customer would be the way to navigate it, is what we as an organization believe.
Right. What are customers asking? So he was saying that we kind of look at various products, see where we can give it an AI boost. What are customers asking today among your various business apps? Which is more like looking like the ones that actually the need for AI is being felt?
See, what we are looking from the customer side is, like, say, they want to adopt AI, but unlike in the consumer market, the businesses, the time to value is taking longer. That means the implementation times are taking longer. So the reason is because they have data in different sources, and how do we bring the data? Because AI cannot be valuable without having the underlying data unified. So there is quite a bit of work that needs to be done in terms of seeing value from the implementation. So that's what we are actually seeing from all our early customer experiences. And there are, like, say, simple features like summarization, or, right, say, setting up a calendar event. So all those are like say simple tasks that everybody in the organization start using. But then what I'm talking about is like say AI really giving a big productivity boost. So AI coming and saying where is your churn coming from, predicting a lot of things, then that requires a lot of data. So yeah, so the time to value
So
is
this
taking
means
longer.
you also have to prepare your systems in terms of the foundation, right?
Yes.
So how are you, anything that you're doing on the data front, on the platform front that you'd like to talk about?
So see, we give like say something called platform AI, where we allow customers to connect with any third party LLMs. So that means, right, say they want to connect with third party LLM, they can connect.
Right.
And then we also worked on like say MCP server, where our own data, we want to actually make it available for AI agents, so that say any multi app agents that they want to build, we want to make it easier for them. So the interoperability, we are making it easier. So that way, if a customer uses like say 5 different apps and then everything is connected, so the workflow is connected across these apps, then they could actually easily do that with this MCP protocol.
Okay, right. So, but from the overall Zoho angle, you will be building all this, or will this you will continue to be self-reliant even in this, the new kind of landscape that we are entering?
Yeah.
What is the plan?
So as Mani was explaining, so we had come up with this platform AI, which helps people to connect to an LLM of their choice. So they could either connect to the big LLMs out there like OpenAI, Anthropic, or Gemini, whatever they want to connect to, or they could host their own open source LLMs in a cloud environment and connect to it, or they could even use the open source LLMs that we have hosted, including our own LLM. We call it Zia LLM. So the idea being, in all these markets, it's better in all these cases where the technology is evolving fast, it is better to give the choice to the customer, right? Especially in something like AI, the leaderboard is changing on a daily basis. So you can't be very, you need to be a bit tactical about it. You can't be very fixed about it. And one best way is to give the choice to the customer, saying all these options are available, you can connect to anything. So, and by doing that, it's not that we are not coming up with our own sovereign choice. So over and above all the choices that we offer, even ours is one more choice, right? And then it also gives us the time to understand what exactly use cases the customer is using it for and make our model better. See, at the end of the day, a B2C model is a big model, it can answer all kinds of questions. And our main take is, you don't need, if you're going to ask any kind, from travel planning to some learning about some perpetual motion machine, you go and ask OpenAI or Anthropic, it's going to answer. But in the context of business, nobody is going to ask the LLM to do a travel planning or go and ask some physics questions or math question to it. So the best way is, then we use this context, and we know it's within the context of our product, it's within the context of the business use case, like whichever department it be. See, for example, if somebody is using a Zoho CRM, we know he's from the sales and marketing department or sales support and service department. If somebody is using Zoho people, they are from the HR department. So there is a context of usage, then there is a whole user interface which is coming from our product. So all this gives us clues on what the customer actually wants to do. Now all this could be tapped, and we also know the customer is not going and asking random questions. So all this together helps us to look at these whole thing and also come up with custom fit LLMs, bespoke LLMs for each domain, and give it to the customer. So to coming back to your question, we integrate with whatever is the best out there, and we also give our own choices, our own LLMs. The choice is left to the customer, but the idea being ours will be more efficient given the knowledge we have about the business process the customer is doing.
Right. What is the time path you see, Mani, perhaps where more of the customers will adopt Zia vis-a-vis others? What are the early indicators looking like? What are people saying?
See, we have been investing on AI for like say last 10 years. So there are a lot of features like say predictions, anomaly, which all say out of the box, and they have like say billions of queries that comes for those, right, say those predictions or anomalies that already exist as part of the product. And then summarization across the board exists as part of the products. Already these are all being used by our customers. These are all heavily used by our customers. But what we see is like say, in order to say make higher impact for the customer use cases, we need like say the time to implement is longer today. So we are working on like say, how do we shorten this? For example, we are combining like say our low code platforms with the AI. So where we are giving say if a customer wants to build an application, So by combining low code and AI, we are creating a verification layer for the customer, because it's easy to verify in a UI than to verify in a code. And you can always write code faster than reading code. Reading code is always complex. So in that sense, say, how do we make it simple? Say if somebody wants to create a workflow, so a complex workflow, instead of just giving it a prompt and then generating 100 lines of codes or 1000 lines of code, instead we generate screens where the user can go and verify, and then they can say they can save it. So these are all the areas where we are investing to make it easy for the implementation for the customers.
Okay. So in that sense, I mean, I've asked you this many times. How is the pricing business model changing? I mean, agentic AI, first it was Gen AI, now agentic AI. How are customers, at some point you'll have to kind of pass on the cost, right?
Yeah, see, so far how we are looking at it is it is part of our pricing package. So that means we are looking at AI as another functionality. Like how we used to, when mobile came, we gave a mobile app and we never priced it separately. Even though it required engineers to work on separate mobile apps, we never had a separate pricing for mobile. So we look at it as part of the overall experience. The same way, so far AI, we have seen we are going with whatever pricing we are charging, we are adding. So we are actually, that's why we are also investing on our own LLM, because we want to right size the models. We want to ensure that it is efficiently run in our data center, and then we want to pass on that cost saving to our customers. So like how we did in cloud infrastructure. So we hosted on our own infrastructure to make sure that we are efficient, so that the customer is not being charged that extra.
Got it. So, but from the larger company point of view, all these require investment. AI today seems to be very capex heavy. At least the big tech are all spending huge amounts. So, at which point does it start? I don't know. Say perhaps monetizing AI. Is there something to look forward to in SaaS?
So first of all, there is a overarching belief that I have, and I always quote it even in other places. Our brain uses only 20 watts, but today a GPU is like taking 10 times one single card. So uh, I believe better architectures will evolve, but we don't know the timeline. So we'll have to play with whatever is there today, and whatever is there today, I agree that it calls for a lot of capital investment and the power guzzling and all that you would have heard. So one approach we are taking is the context. So that is the most important thing. Context, right size LLM, see how we can use a combination of getting a bit technical. So one is not to use GPU everywhere. So you could use a combination of CPU, GPU and ASICs. ASICs are application specific integrated circuits. So we could use a combination of this from a technical angle and see overall how we can bring down the cost. So one is a context. Second is use a myriad of heterogeneous hardware. That will be the second thing. And then obviously if all this we are able to take it up to some level, and beyond that, if assume newer architectures didn't come, or and the whole pricing model is changing, then we will look at it. So it's not like we are saying never say never. Right. But as of now, we believe the way we are structured, the different editions in our product, the way we have been bringing in features, it's compatible. AI is compatible with that kind of a model. And in the future, if something drastic happens and we need to relook at it, we will surely do that.
Right. So today, what are all the various elements that you're doing this in-house? I mean, is there any plans to get into things like GPUs?
Not doing GPU. No. So today we work closely with Intel. We work closely, a lot closer with NVIDIA. Use their hardware.
So is there any plans to further kind of bring everything in-house as is your general practice?
I mean, making the hardware itself.
Yeah.
No. So I think that one thing is software you can do in 18 months. Hardware has its stacks, I would say. Right. So it's obviously a complex piece of architecture. And that is why, so even if you take NVIDIA as a company, they have been in business, they have been in this architecture for quite decades together, right? And then suddenly this, it was in the crypto, and then it was in that high performance, then it was in graphics, and then suddenly this AI wave came. Suddenly that architecture was very suitable for this kind of thing. So these are all complex pieces. So we are not getting into making those, but we will intelligently use a combination of the CPU, GPU and the ASIC to provide the maximum value to the customer.
Got it, right. And Mani, in this, you spoke about productivity boost from AI for your own organization, right? How does all this change talent management in this sector? I mean, how do you look at it? You wouldn't be needing as much people, or is it safe to say that this human resources will continue as it is
Say
despite
the
AI?
currently what we are saying, say take our own support. We are still hiring support. Alright. So, and what we are saying is like say if a person is sending like say replying 10 replies to customers, handling 10 support questions. So can they handle 30?
Okay.
And can they handle without stress, right? Without working extra hours, without, right? So can AI help them find answers quickly? So with the internal resources. So if they have to search for something for like say 1 hour, can AI help them do it within like say 5-10 minutes? So that's the way we are looking at it. So in terms of, and we have been doing this all the time. Say for example, in CRM, we used to have say workflow automation. We used to write a lot of workflow automation, like right, say to automate a lot of assignment rules and other stuff.
Right.
So all those are done in order to increase productivity for the employees.
Okay.
So that means like right, say they can spend more time talking to customers. They can spend more time like because it is always like say we need more people to really talk to customers, take care of their requirements, and customers like advise customers on like say what is the best solution. So consult on like right, say some of the challenges that they face. So these are all the work that really like say we can never say that oh we are mastering in that. So we always have scope to improve, and that is where we want our extra our people's extra time to be spent on.
Got it. So you're saying that the growth rate at which the SaaS world's employee base grew, will it grow at the same rate, you think, or there will be some bit of trimming required? I mean, especially 21, 22, 23, a lot of companies overhired. I mean, there was a lot of hiring that happened. But is it now normalized, stabilized? How do you see it?
So we see that as the industry, we can see that it's normalized because the growth rates were not like that. Because right, say there was a higher growth, hyper growth during that period because of various like monetary policies, and now that has tapered. So and so now everyone was like say hiring for the new normal. But in terms of growth, there is still growth, and so in terms of hiring, we are still hiring.
Okay.
But we are definitely cautious in terms of like say where to hire. Based on our growth, we decide our hiring numbers and our where to hire exactly. Right?
Got it. Right. So, is there a slowdown now? What is the industry facing in terms of demand from customers?
So, okay, actually, just adding to whatever Mani was saying, there are 2-3 things here. See, there are some departments within the organization which are very well suited to use AI in a more accelerated way. One is source code development itself that we talked about, testing, documentation, and all these things. We are using a lot of AI. The next was this support interaction with the customers, right? That's very well fit for using AI a lot, so that the agent or the person who is supporting gets all the answers, or the AI is able to put down all the answers based on the tickets that have come in, based on the internal knowledge that is there, based on the past interaction with the customer, and then they get the productivity boost, right? So what we are saying is, first of all, with respect to, then there is all this whole geopolitical thing. So there is a technical thing and there is an economics thing. So what we are saying is like, from a development perspective, you are being very careful, and looking at, first we'll have to see how much productivity boost can we get out of AI, and then from a hiring perspective, as Mani was saying, we are looking at where to hire, so which all geographies to hire. So this is something we have been doing since 2018, right? So we call it transnational localism, where instead of driving everything from India, so we have a lot of offices spread around the world, where we get invested in the local community. So when I say the word invested in local community, that would mean we, like what we are doing here. So we hire from a different cross section of society, we train them, we put them on the job, we give them that runway to pick the skill, and then they contribute to us. This is true, like even in US, our offices are one of the biggest offices in a place called McAllen, which is like which is some, I think 3-4 hours 3-4 hours from Austin.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like some 3-4 hours drive from Austin, right? So that's like I mean, I wouldn't say middle of nowhere, but it's not like a tier 1 city. So that's what we have done in the US. Same is the case with Mexico, right? Obviously Singapore is a small country, so wherever you put, you're in the center of the city. and we also have an office in Europe. And similarly in China and Japan, we have a big presence since 2000, right? So wherever we need to hire, we are hiring there, and there's a lot more focus on being very close to the customer, because these are offices that can be the closest to the customer. So we do hire people to work very closely with the customer. Then with respect to India itself, we are being very careful about how much developers we are hiring. But with respect to all customer facing function, like as Mani was explaining, be it customer support, account management, feet on street. So that last mile has to be strengthened, and you can never say it's enough, because at the end of the day, these are B2B workflows, which if you want to deliver good value to the customer, you kind of need to understand a lot more than just giving a product. And then like say, the more you handhold, the more value you can give to the customer. So we are hiring a lot on the customer facing function, being very wary about software development, and across the world in our geo offices, regional offices, we are hiring based on what kind of growth we are seeing there.
Okay, got it. So, Mani, I mean, in all this, do you really think that it is AI that is causing a lot of job loss, layoffs now? What is the situation? Is it entirely to be attributed to AI?
So at least I don't believe that it's because of AI.
Okay.
I feel it's the past over hiring. So post
So
pandemic,
I'm just trying to check, is there anything to worry for the future generation of, say, graduates? India as a country especially has so many lakhs of graduates coming out every year. So the question on everybody's mind is, do I have a job in the tech sector today, or is AI going to do a lot of the work that my seniors were kind of getting into these companies to do? So what's your view?
this is a transition phase where there are going to be a lot of new types of job. Say 20 years back, there was no social media marketing job. So with Facebook and Instagram, so this new kind of role that evolved. Same way, there is no SEO or SEM job like say before Google. So when internet came, this is the same kind of concerns that everybody had, but we are creative enough to create new type of roles and job, right? So like same way in AI, there are going to be like say new type of job. So and so we need to like say closely watch this and then see where is the opportunity. And so even in software, we believe that there is going to be like say a lot of software. So it's not going to be like right, because AI is actually making it easier to build software. So today, wherever like say take the vertical market industries. So there is like say not enough software in say some of the verticals like healthcare or real estate. So there is going to be like say a lot of options. So the AI is going to enable that. And that means, right, so it's going to open up more and more opportunity in the technology. But there is going to be a transition, because when we are in the phase of figuring out, so there is a caution there. So I feel that's the phase we are in. And as we transition, we will have more opportunities that open up because of AI.
So in that sense, do you have any advice for what education institutes are doing? Because as a company that runs Zoho schools, you will have some visibility on what is required today. So what do you think education institutes should be doing today?
See, surely it's in a transitional phase, right? So actually having an open mind is very important. And then somehow we have to instill the sense of curiosity, because it's not about learning only in the school or the college. So like a lot of people are predicting that going forward, people will have like some 3-4 careers in their lifetime, right? So that means they'll change careers. They'll change lines, right? So that would mean a continuous process of learning. So that will have to be there. Now in short term, doesn't matter which area, you maybe in electrical or electronics or mechanical or software, you need to be aware of how AI is helping each one of us to become more productive. So that we need to be aware. So we'll have to try all the tools. One is to go by what is being said outside. Other is to get a feel for yourself. I think that getting a feel for oneself is very important. So those would be the focus areas for now, and then have an open mind. And even Mani was explaining, right, SEO, SEM, but the biggest thing I like is influencer. Can you ever imagine one job profile like influencer? And now before and all, people used to find it difficult to explain to their parents or grandparents. Now if they say influencer, everybody can understand. So
Creator, influencer.
yeah, correct. So I mean, you think of it like if you were to go back in 1600 and explain to somebody all this, I mean, it will be mind-boggling. I think influencer, they wouldn't even understand what it would
Got
be.
it. But as a see, when I look around today, that now that we are here in Zoho, so many it's all 30 plus kids all around. Went to the cafeteria. So many youngsters. So as a company, do you feel responsible as to how you're going to mold? What is the kind of the talent management ethos that you have? What are you trying?
See, if you look at the culture within, so as I said, we are very decentralized. So in that sense, like right, so we empower uh, everyone to make decisions. So that way, we also, since technology industry also requires continuous learning, every 3 years we are seeing something change, and we have to adapt to the change. And all the changes cannot come from the top. So that means like right, so we have to have a say college like atmosphere where people here are like say continuously learning, and say a lot of changes like say we want to actually come from the bottom up innovation cycle. So that means like say how do somebody do a POC somewhere, some R&D experiment, and then how can that become a product that we ship. So that has already happened in many areas, and we want to accelerate that. So that's why like right, say we don't want to like say dictate some direction and then say move everyone in the same direction. Rather, we want to allow a lot of experimentation inside. So and that will actually like say if someone figure out something, then how do we learn from that, and then how do we accelerate that learning across all the right say all the people we have. So that's how we are looking at our own talent management, right? So far we have done the same, and we will continue to do this.
So all this, entire geopolitical thing that is going on, so it's a lot of stress in terms of, it's going to hit the economic growth. It's going to have some sort of, the country needs to change in various ways. Do you think there is a positive that we will start to finally make our own products? Do you think this is a big enough change to cause that? How do you see it?
Yeah, actually, this could be one of the positive outcomes, right? So, see, at the end of the day, you can't control everything, and something is dealt to you, as I say in cards or something. Some card has been given to you. Now, how do you make the best of it? Or if life gives you lemon, make lemonade, right? So that kind of thing. So if you look at it a bit positively, and then we work on it, this could be a big boost for a lot of innovation and a lot of product development that could happen within. And but if you were to be very despair about it of a situation that you cannot control, I don't think it's warranted. So taking a positive approach towards this, but I understand that there would be a lot of pain in between. I mean, there's a journey to be made. It's easier said than done, and obviously the resolve will be tested. But I think, okay, if you ask me, I believe good sense will prevail. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
But if it doesn't, I think we should look at it as a big boost for our own development.
Yeah, but is the country ready to make its own, all the sovereign pieces of tech to make it today in house? I mean, there was a list that was like kind of floating around. Each and every consumer application today, we are dependent on the West. Each, whatever we use on a daily basis on our mobiles, it's all from the West. So, are we ready today as a country to get into that?
I mean, on the software front, there is no doubt actually. Actually, on the software front, I mean, because I am in that industry or we are in that industry, I know like basically there isn't a second question. So a lot of times, some of these apps are there because there's a lot more people who use it, and suddenly because of some geopolitical thing, if a sudden new rule comes,
Right.
and you're not able to use an app, you will always find alternatives. It would be the hardware where we need some patient capital, we need people to work on it for 7-8 years, and then the product will come out, right? Those would be the more difficult things
Right.
that I think we need to master.
Yeah, in terms of foundation technologies, but Zoho is also investing in some of them, right? Do you think as a company that you will back more of these foundational technologies?
Yeah, so that is one thing we always been doing for backing deep tech companies.
Right.
So for example, we have invested in an MRI company,
Wow.
and similarly with drones or robotics, and all these do, or even our own medical device. So all these have a long gestation cycle, and we are willing to wait because these are some skills and some products that are very much needed for us, and that is the approach we are taking.
So just to get an idea into more of your management styles. How would you define your management style? What will your team members say you are as a boss today?
I don't manage many things.
Is that what they will say, that he is hardly around?
So no, I believe that, like, say, letting people decide.
Mhm.
So giving them the right choice to make their decision.
Okay.
So that's what I believe in.
Does it work well? I mean, with the cross section of people, does the decentralization, as you said, work well?
Yeah, so far it has worked for us. So it is a somewhat, there will be, like, say, some chaos, but we call it organized chaos.
Okay.
And as long as we make progress
Right.
with the decentralization, that means it's good.
Okay.
So that's why we are continuing to believe in that.
Right.
And so mostly, so I strongly believe in that.
Okay.
And especially in the technology industry, because I feel like, say, a lot of management practices we do today is all from the industrial era.
Right.
Where, right, so you have a defined set of processes and rules, and so everybody has to follow the same rule.
Okay.
So every manager is molded in the same way. So, right, in a situation they have to behave in the same way. But in knowledge industry, none of it works. For example, I have built, like, say, more than 10 products from scratch, and each of the products GTM is very different.
Right.
So that means, right, so it is not the same. So what worked for one product in, say, 2005 may not work for the other product and maybe releasing in 2015. Now in AI world, if we are going to do the same in 2025, so we have to learn again. So, and every time it's not me who is going to learn it. In 2005 maybe I would have learned it first, but in 2015 it was, like, say, someone from my team who learned the new ways of promoting it, and then they figure out a way. So as Shailesh said, right, so influencer marketing.
Okay.
So see, today it is common, but in a business to use it, so somebody has to figure out. So somebody close enough to that will figure out, they will experiment. We allow them to experiment.
Sure.
And right, so if it fails, nobody, we don't go and ask, like, right, or we don't we tolerate mistakes. That's how we put it, rather than trying to avoid every mistake.
Okay.
So
So in that sense, would you say it's very different in any ways from how Sridhar was running the organization? Maybe I should ask you, and I'm not asking you. Better to ask.
No,
the
Sridhar was
other
also
person.
like, see, most of the things, like Sridhar would keep on saying, like, we are like that Switzerland, states in Switzerland, right? The confederation of states,
Okay.
kind of a thing.
Right.
So it's better to be like speedboats than one big ship. I mean, that is from a team level, but from a product level or from a platform level, all this will have to combine together. So there is a bit of organized chaos. Sometimes people would feel that, oh, there's a lot more chaos than order. But I would say at the end of the day, if you're alive to tell the story, then it's okay. Yeah. Or 7 on 10 times, if you're right, that's okay. Then you just keep on going. Because see, when the industry around you is changing fast, having a very monolithic structure or having a top-down approach, instructions coming from the top, actually, in some cases you will win, but in a lot of cases you could kind of miss out the signals, right? So it's better to have it decentralized, have some organized chaos, as we put it. And then overall, if you're able to maximize the customer value, the more than profit, the revenue, the productivity on a per employee basis,
Right.
then you're on the right track.
So it's safe to say that you will remain private. There
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's very
absolutely
much.
no plans.
yes.
So much you have to spend so much for AI. How much ever you optimize, sir, there is
But
a
there's a
need
belief,
for.
right? I was telling you about 20 watts, so there's a belief. And I was also talking about the context.
Correct.
And I agree, like, if you take something like, I mean, if you go to the B2C world, it's a different thing.
Right.
We are in the B2B world, but we are also coming up with some B2C products. You will
Yes.
hear.
In that context, I would like to hear, if there is any plans for B2C also. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be announcing soon. It's still, I mean, obviously you will get to hear first.
Now, the messaging platform, especially, there is a lot of interest. It has been a
Correct.
long time coming.
Correct.
So I'm just trying to further ask you if that is on the cards.
You will also get to hear. No, so first we are getting the infra in place. See, one thing in B2B is there's always this luxury of it's a steady growth, right? It's like playing a 50 over match or a 5-day cricket. But this one is B2C is like that 100 ball match, right? Not even T20, whatever, that 100 ball match or something. So, but before that, we have to get the infra in place. We'll have to get some process in place. Sure. So all that we are going through. So in a B2C world, yes, if you have to do a full full-fledged general purpose AI. So there also what you might do is you might have the AI available within some context. So that's how we are looking at it, and we believe like as we grow, we should also become stronger. And if AI keeps guzzling at this pace, we will be able to find some way out. That's the way we look at it.
See, cloud, once again, if you go back to the cloud, it used to be like a very capex heavy business.
Right.
But we could actually be able to scale with, right, say our own investments. So because, right, so as Shailesh said, like say, we focused on few areas, so we expanded organically. So rather trying to like say build all 45 products on day one. So even though we want to like say solve the business problems. So if you like take say like for example in Mani Engine we are solving like ITSM, and in Zoho we have been building CRM, accounting package, email. So all those like right. So we have been parallelly investing on those. So because our vision is like say how do we solve a problem for the business.
Right.
And right, say while Zoho focus on the business teams, Mani Engine focus on the IT team. So the infrastructure piece, everything. So and we have been continuously investing on this. And whatever investment we have started making in Zoho, so Mani Engine started using when their applications moved from on-prem to cloud.
Okay.
So and whatever we have done in cloud, I think at least in AI for the B2B, we could do the same.
Right. And does staying private help you navigate this better in any way? What is the advantages you see that you've stayed the same way so long?
So see, let's take the first thing, Zoho schools. So we could continue investing in Zoho schools after 20 years because we stayed private. So same way we always look at say what is the value for the customer. So if you look at say business from the first principle, it's equal exchange of value. So as long as customers are ready to pay the price for what we offer, that means we are doing something right. So and our growth indicates that. That means we are adding value to the customer. So we continue to invest on that. So if anywhere our growth has a challenge, then we know like say what some direction we need to change. So somewhere we are not right. So getting the direction right. So we change course and then see what adds value to our customers, and then we start investing on that. So if we are say for example we take outside investment, then we can't do the same things what we are doing today in terms of investing on say for example we have invested say 45 apps in Zoho, and like say Mani Engine like say another 40-50 apps. So and some of those apps like takes decades to see the right. Say for example we invested in messaging. We started investing in messaging from 2005. Our own IAM, our own language deluge, right? So we invested on that even before the word serverless was coined. So these investment, there is no quote unquote ROI, instant ROI for them. So, but what we believed in is like say these are all the different pieces that we require in order to accelerate value to our customers. So, and that's what we are seeing today. So all the products or all the value that we are able to offer as part of our platform was due to the investment we have made in the last 20 years. If we just took a shortcut of hosting in a public cloud and then like right say transferring say value adding on top of it and then bundling it together to our customers, then we have to increase price. The reason is because the cloud costs are increasing, so the infrastructure cost we have to pass it on to the customers. So and that's why we invested on our own infrastructure so that we could run a messaging service with audio video capabilities plus an email service. These are all very infrastructure heavy services.
Right.
And we are able to run it because we invested on the cloud for like say last 20 years.
Got it. So the next 5 to 10 years, what are the areas where you'll play the long game, Zoho as a company? Have you identified certain areas?
So one is obviously the AI wave. How to navigate it would be one. The second most important thing is to get into some of these vertical markets. So the more verticalized your products are, that means you know the customer's business better. So it's not only us, we also enabling the partner. So it's not, see, at the end of the day, you can't build all the solutions, but if you can provide some platform kind of a thing where other people can build on top of it and sell to the customer because they know the domain well. So that is something we want to enable. So this whole thing about AI, this and second thing about vertical domains. So two big focus areas, and then security, privacy, compliance. Like these three are like See, they're undergoing changes at a very rapid pace because of AI, because of everything moving to the cloud. So that is one focus area and also a big differentiator for us. So I would say these three would be big areas of focus for us. You want to add something?
Yeah, so the vertical AI is like, say, where we are definitely accelerating our investment. Because see, our goal has been always like to shorten the implementation time. So that means like, right, if it takes 3 years or 18 months to implement something, so how do we reduce that? So we invested on low code for that. Now we invest on low code plus AI to accelerate that further. And in vertical, if we give a lot of out of the box functionality for the customers, then it will further shorten the cycle. Plus also like it gives the flexibility of the platform. So that's where we are.
But as a company, you have not really bought any of these technologies. As in, when you kept adding capabilities, you've chosen to kind of build, right? So, is that something that you'd say should be the industry model? I mean, would you like to generalize it overall that it works better, or is it just worked better for you?
See, in all these cases, at least my opinion is you can't make a general statement. So this is something that worked good for us. Maybe you should try it. But if you think there is some other alternative path and you want to take a different path,
See,
all luck to you.
It is about our what is our goal. So when we started AdventNet, as you said, right, in '96. So why we started here in Chennai? Because there is no product company, there is no made in India here. So we want to build the product from here. We want to build the talent pool from here. So that means for every challenge we face, we look at, say, how do we build the talent here? So when cloud came, when JavaScript came, when say iOS happened, like, right, so launch happened. So how do we build the talent here? So every talent we look at, say, building it here so that we can create an ecosystem. So because it takes a lot of time to create that ecosystem. So what was missing when we started in '96 is the ecosystem. There is no product ecosystem out here. So and it took a lot of time to build that. So it's about the goal you have. It's about like, say, what do you want to do? So we are moving rural. So is it the best way to build it? So somebody can do exactly opposite and still be successful. It's about like, say, what is the goal? What we want to do. So we want to actually like, right, say, create, give opportunity for those who don't have the opportunity. So we go and create, say, opportunity in areas where there is no opportunity. So and we are seeing like, say, when they are given the opportunity, plus we create the awareness for them. So we create the exposure for them through our training. So we are seeing that they are doing wonders. So but then it takes there is a gestation period, like, so we have to invest on them like 3 to 5 years. So and we are ready to invest.
Got it. So, overall, do you think India can continue to be the SaaS hub the way SaaS itself is changing? A lot of questions that a lot of people now feel that the epicenter of all this building is not really in India anymore. You may have to, some founders are also moving to the West to kind of be closer and all that. So, how do you see that?
I thought that was happening even during the heydays of SaaS.
It was. I mean, it was more for customer facing then, but now they are saying even for product you need to.
No, even for product that used to be there. Actually, I would say before 2000s and all products were built there. We used to be kind of the exception. Then suddenly in from 2000 to 2015, you saw a lot of SaaS companies coming here. Yeah, so when that shift happened, it was more like products did move in here. And now with net connection and lots of information available on the web and all that. So if you have the determination to read, actually the location doesn't matter. Even if you look at it, lots of people are working from remote. Right. So it's not like everybody's aggregated in one place. And being close to customer is always worth it. And for that, it's not that you need to move the organization. It's like you can always hire locally. You can have somebody there, or you can frequently travel and all that. So there is no second guessing on, is it important to be close to the customer? It's always useful.
Right. And what about India's potential as a product nation? I'm sure that a lot more can be done. We are not there yet. What do you see as the...
See, one thing is actually as a product buying market has tremendously improved in the last 7-8 years. So like India used to be like, if you go by the pecking order, for us at least, India used to be like the 10th country by revenue and all that. And now it's like, second or third. And all the shift happened post 2017-18. So with the GST and this and that all coming in, and this digital stack coming in, so here is a good opportunity of having talent, because like when you would have said about this demographic dividend and all that, right? So talent is there, knowledge it's easily available, and then you also have people who are willing to buy. So this is a nice combo, and I think that should actually give a big boost for building products as well as selling it locally. And then you can always sell locally and then kind of make it available all around the world.
Got it. Right. Thank you so much. I mean, is there any closing thoughts you have on where the SaaS industry is heading? Anything you'd like to say? Is Zoho prepared?
So, see, as I said, we can't be like say 100% sure about what lies ahead. So, as the industry is changing, so the only thing we are doing is like we are keeping an open mind, and then looking at all the changes, and then seeing how it could impact our products or the value we offer to our customers.
Right.
So that's what we are looking at, and I feel that's what every business software vendor should look at.
Right. Anything from you, sir? I mean, where is this industry headed, and what does Zoho have its eyes on?
So I would say keeping an open mind and tread. I mean, I always say that geopolitics is like an earthquake zone, right? So you never know where it's going to burst out, but keeping an open eye and then building some reserves, right? So that is one thing. Like because in a tough period, you need to have a runway, right? So you need to have some fallback options. Like in our case, there are some reserves that as a private company you build, which will help us to navigate if times get extremely difficult, right? So, but I mean, I think good sense will prevail. As that's I'm more of an optimistic person. But the point is like looking at the technology, how it is evolving, being curious about it, seeing what value you can give to the customer, all the fundamental principles of business. I think if you can keep your ears close to that, you should.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today on the show. It'll be great, I'm sure, for the audience to hear all this, and a lot of entrepreneurs will be watching. So it'll be a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.